Hey everybody, Dust here again. I am putting together a little bit of a long video for you. I'm being asked a lot about when I started flying these planes, how I progressed as fast as I did, or how I progressed at all. So I decided to put this together. I started a new account. If you ever catch me as Drift Jetson up in the air, it's because I'm making a video. So starting here off from the beginning, we are just going to take off here and get going. Now, as many of you know, and anybody that's flown, you start with the bare minimum. You got the 2 times 20 millimeter guns, I believe, that are on here. No explosive rounds. Pay attention here in the dogfights how I utilize these guns here, and I'm switching back and forth between the HMGs and the 20 mils to help with the overheating of the guns. You're going to notice throughout the video, and especially here at the beginning, that I am in a lot of dogfights. That is mostly because the air to ground is not that great with this setup. You've got the 250-pound bombs that don't do a lot of damage to the tanks. Of course, they're going to do damage to the infantry if you could land them on their head, basically, or right, into a group of guys that already have some damage. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're going to probably use some of this time to get used to flying, get used to your maneuvers, and get used to dogfighting. So here I'm about to engage this enemy plane that is on my wingman 6. Now this guy is a staller. You'll notice here he's going to stall right in front of me. Don't stall with them if you are engaging somebody. Try to pass them and keep your energy up so that you can flip around and dive while they are stalled. They are losing all of their kinetic energy when they stop like that. And then have to be able to flip their plane around to regain enough speed to control. So if you catch yourself against somebody who's trying to stall you out, try to put as much damage as you can on the upward climb, pass them, and then flip around. It's going to give you more speed and more maneuverability to be able to finish them off. Alright, so here you guys are going to notice I'm strafing the ground a lot here on the flags. This is because I don't have spotting capabilities. This is a way, kind of like a blind man feeling with his cane. I'm doing the same thing with my bullets. I like to fly over the objective, strafe it, and try to find if I get hit markers, and then drop my bombs where those hit markers are. Here, you see, I of course get myself into yet another dogfight. I decided to include this clip here just to show you guys a little bit of this maneuver called the high yo-yo right here. So this guy wanted to do that endless loop that many pilots like to do, where they just circle and circle and circle. You need to find a way to cut inside that and be able to get a good lead on him so you can fire on him. So as we finish this guy off, one of the things I had noticed is my wingman had somebody on him, and we have this guy taking off, and then a third plane right behind me here that's firing at me. So I decided to bomb the plane on the runway. Totally uncouth and not cool. I am quite honestly kind of against bombing the planes on the runway. But because I knew my wingman was fucked and I was in a little bit of danger myself and outnumbered, I took him out the best way I could. Now here, this whole clip is not really to show how I turned around and won this, but how I got away. Notice how I maneuver up and down and around that mountain to get away from these guys and stay low to the ground. Notice here, guys, when I target this Type 10, I like to get zoomed in, get a couple shots and notice if he's even there, and then drop your bomb. Like I said, the 250-pound bombs don't do a lot of damage, but they will get the job done. Here I just circle around, kind of double tap, make sure that was who I killed, to get that Type 10 out of there and help my team progress forward. So here we go with our next progression. You can go with the 20 millimeter cannons, or jump over to the other side and go with the 4x HMGs. My opinion, sticking with the left side and the cannons, with the 4x 20 mils and the 4x 20 mil high explosives, this is going to allow you to do a little more infantry farming, and get more points to help your progression, help you progress further along here. So if you can, here, and notice as I take off, I take out that Type 10 right away. These cannons will take out flak and the Type 10s, even jeeps. You can hammer jeeps driving by, or the small boats. These guns will. You also notice here in this dogfight, I use them, the high explosive cannons, to help switching between my guns. Again, they are a slow firing gun, but they hammer hard. So if you land them on a plane, they're going to do a lot of damage. Alright, so back to farming here, guys. Going in for a bomb run, I start to get hammered here by the flak. I get a good drop there with those 250s, get a couple kills, and as I jump on this plane, their flak starts hammering me pretty hard. And of course you're going to find this happen to you a lot, especially the better you get. You're going to piss a lot of people off here using these high explosive cannons. And further along here, when we unlock the incendiary bombs, you'll see this between fliggers and flak, you can get yourself in a little bit of trouble. So take note, guys, of where the installments are. The flak and the Type 10s, those are going to really help you along here as you move along. You know, the maps from up here are a lot different than from down there. You need to learn where everything is, where the layout is, and be able to help your team by taking out those guns that are further up ahead they can't get to. Try to make your strafe runs quick, guys. You don't want to pull up right over the battlefield in any kind of stall. It opens you up to flak and fleegers. So get through, shoot a couple guys, and keep it moving. Pass straight through and head back to resupply if you need to. In the case with these bombs, they drop one at a time a lot of times. You have enough time to circle back around and drop another. So moving along here in our progression, if you go straight down here and take the quick fix, you'll lose your emergency repair, and personally I think the emergency repair helps more. And on top of that, the fin barrels help even more. They help in your dogfighting, they help your guns cool down, your main guns cool down faster so that you can continue firing. And then moving down here, you can choose the incendiaries or the 500s, or of course the 1000s. Just look ahead of what you're going with here, guys. To progress the fastest, I think that the incendiary bombs are going to be the best bet. They don't do as much damage to tanks, or if at all to tanks. They just kind of burn on top of them. But they do take out the guys in the flak and the Type 10s, and do a little more damage spread out among the infantry. So as you can see, as I fly through here again, quick strafe runs. Drop your bombs and go. Now what you're seeing here on my hit markers, I dropped a bomb on that tank, and that is the fire burning on the tank. It's not really doing a lot of damage, maybe just a little bit at a time if I remember correctly. I don't spend enough time in tanks to honestly be able to tell you. But not enough to really count, guys. So this is more just to help you, again, progress. It's going to let you burn the shit out of some of these dudes on the ground. And there is nothing more exciting than flying through and dropping those and just watching those kills rack up. And oftentimes that fire keeps burning you guys, and you'll continue to get kills. It's kind of fun. Now, spamming this loadout, you guys are going to again piss a lot of people off. The guys on the ground don't enjoy it. They don't like getting blown up constantly. And when you get better and you're good at this, you'll notice there's another pilot in here doing the same thing I am. And we are just destroying these guys, racking up the kills with this. He fortunately has the flares, which we'll be getting to here shortly, and that is helping the entire team out, helping our ground move forward and then helping us up in the air with spotting, of course. Just remember, guys, the more you kick the hornet's nest, the more you're going to get stung. So you're noticing they're sending up more pilots, or these guys are jumping in planes. They're getting tired of being shot with high explosive rounds and being burnt to death. So you know, they're going to do everything they can to try to take you out. In this case, they keep trying to send up the planes, and fortunately, I'm able to get back behind them and finish them off and continue on about what I'm doing. You know, all of this, if you get a chance, you guys, to get in a dogfight and get on someone 6, I recommend going ahead and doing it and taking those kills and those points and experience and applying that as you move along here. Okay, so you see here, looking down, using your free look by clicking your left thumbstick and using your right to look around. I've noticed where my wingman had already popped flares and flew through trying to get some kills. I decided to fly through and hammer them first with the high explosive rounds, try to get as many kills as I can. Fortunately, only got 1 out of that one and didn't even get my bombs away. So using my rear view, I look behind me, flip back around, and pick a target, guys. Pick one guy, and a lot of times you'll end up getting more, especially with these rounds, but essentially, if you can kill one person in every pass, you're going to really be doing well by the end of the game. So pick one person on your strafe, get zoomed in, whether it's high explosive rounds or your other rounds, and shoot them. And then as you fly through, drop your bombs. And just listen to them scream, watch them burn, and be proud that you're helping your team move along. So again here, guys, I just wanted to point out what is going to happen. It's inevitable and it will happen. You guys are gonna, like I said, piss some people off, and they all start watching you from the ground. You'll notice many guys just on Flieger just trying to take you out, or like this guy right here in the Type 10. I had killed him many times and he finally got me. So what happens when you're flying too low, those Type 10s can really reach out there too, and if someone's accurate, it's like 50% of your life for each shot. So if you got any damage to you and you get hit, you're going to be smoked, just like I was. So here in our progression, throwing the flares on and improved control surfaces. Of course, everyone knows what the flares do. They really light things up on the battlefield for your team and for your other pilots, and of course for yourself. The improved control surface is going to give you more maneuverability, and like I've said in other videos, I like to fly low and through the trees, and I end up in a lot of dogfights, and this is going to help you guys out. Taking off here for the last time as we go into these last couple clips. First thing we're going to do is try to get some moderate altitude here and drop these flares. A lot of times I try to drop them between flags. You notice here I'm going to try to pop them right up over A and try to cover some of the gap there between Bravo. As I'm passing over, I noticed my wingman had a fighter on him. Just lighting him up, got him enough to be able to pass my guy, and he was able to take back over while I dropped my bombs. Racking up some kills, listening to him scream. One of my favorite things to do. I should have just let this guy have it. I should have peeled off and let him take it, and I got a little bit greedy and about knocked him into the water, which would have been a total dick move, and he would have in every right been pissed at me. So luckily that didn't happen here. Guys, if you notice you're in a fight, especially with your own wingman, try to peel off and let him finish the fight and get the kill. It's the best thing you can do. It helps him out, and also in the long run helps you out. The more of you can stay up and help each other and stay on each other's wing, the better. Here you notice this guy got right in between us. I was able to flip right over top of him, start hammering him, and the flak was able to finish him off. So again here, guys, I alternate between my guns, my heavy cannons and my primaries to try to take out these planes so that I can move right along to help my team here, especially at the end. We're trying to take the last flags. I want to be able to help them the best that I can. So the main goal with this loadout, in my opinion, is to come in, get flares over the battlefield, and then loop back around. Try to get as many kills as you can with your explosive rounds first. Who you don't kill is going to be pretty weak, but hopefully when you drop your bombs it will do the most damage, get the most kills. So hit them first with the heavy rounds, with the explosive rounds, or quite honestly any kind of strafe. Getting any kind of damage on these guys before you drop your incendiaries is going to up the chances of getting kills and multiple kills. Here you notice Salty Pilot try to crash into me. You'll get that a lot, guys. Like I said, the more you piss people off, they're going to use everything they can to try to take you down. So while he noticed I was on his Wingman 6, he tried to come in and take me out the fastest way he could. And that was it. Fortunately for me, whatever happened in the game there, I just kind of bounced right over top of him. I don't know if he got any damage to it, but fortunately I ran out of ammo. So he must have thought I was on his 6 right there and peeled away. I was able to just kind of scurry on along and head back for the resupply. After doing so, of course, turn back around, and I come in. I notice where some of the guys are still marked. I still try to go up, like I said, pop your flares, circle and loop around so that you can dive in with your explosive rounds and try to get as much damage as you can. In this case, I spotted the Type 10 that I decided to hammer on. Wasn't able to take him out on the first run. Didn't find any reason to get too low. Again, these guys are bunched up tight, and if there's more than one guy with the Flieger and they hit you, they're going to take you out, guys. So kind of a dangerous spot to get too low. Right here, I noticed a couple of assault class. Looks like I was able to burn them alive, which was wonderful. Things start to get awful personal, and you know, getting in here and blowing them up and then dropping fire on them is a good way to show them that they're still not going to be able to shoot you down, whether it's with their stupid Fliegers or you know, some of the guys with a little more experience and have a little better aim can take you out with a tank or Type 10 or a Panzerfaust, which somebody posted a video who actually quite recently taking me out with a Panzerfaust from some distance. Is quite impressive, I'm not going to lie. So guys, again here, this is going to be the best way to get your loadout completely finished, so that you can either reset it and try something new, or just stick with this for a while until you get better at flying and continue to burn the shit out of these guys. I hope this helps, and I hope it was eloquent enough and made sense. And remember to stay safe, stay in, and fly together. We'll see you guys out there.